Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, guys. What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Bravo We're Black. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Kaya. And I hope that you guys enjoyed my solo episode that came out on Monday. Very much, it was giving weird. It was giving lonely. It was giving where the hell is Aaron? But also I was able to just get everything out that I wanted to say on other episodes, but we had literally no time to. And I think that's really the purpose of that.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it, guys. I
Did you
listened
listen
to
to
it. I did. I absolutely did. I forgot exactly what you said, but I had a piece. But today was so long that I forgot about it. But you called me out about something specifically, and I had it in my head, but I forgot. So I'll follow up later. But aside from that, I do agree about the new Disney Plus color. I hate it. I hated that they
Hate
fused
it.
with Hulu. It was very unnecessary to me. Um, and now the colors are just shit to me. So, and I also feel like, well, what is the point of me paying for Hulu and Disney Plus?
That's the question all along. And I guess it's because it's a bundle now. So to change your subscription, I guess you got to cancel one and then get the more expensive part of another one. I don't know. All I know is that I hate that teal color. I like teal, but I just don't like the way it looks with the Disney logo. Like it just clashes with it. Like if they were doing it for, like a promo for the Little Mermaid, sure. But it just doesn't give that classical Disney. And then when you enter the app, it's just pure chaos. Like I have X-Men 97 here, I have Spider-Man here, I have Bluey here, but then I also have the Keeping Up with the Kardashians here, and then I have
Vanderpump Villa is literally next to Sunny with a Chance.
Exactly.
And I'm like, fitting. Fitting. That I actually had a point behind that, but now that I really think about that, fair.
Is it?
Now, if it was like Luck of the Irish, it would have been like, okay, this is kind of far off.
And those are my people, so I would have definitely had a problem with that.
Those are your people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to ask this before we get into stuff. Okay, Luck of the Irish.
Right.
Or Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Luck of the Irish, because as entertaining, and I guess that really started our addiction to cooking shows, and it really just pushed us off into a different era when we were literal children. I think that Luck of the Irish is something that sticks with you, and it's something that every St. Patrick's Day you really want to put that shit on and
You're
be
right.
like, yeah, I'm watching Luck of the Irish.
You're right.
So it has the vibes, it has the stickability, the likability, and it has my people in it. So shout out to them.
I absolutely agree.
Speaking of our people, let's get into Black Excellence.
Black Excellence, do you have yours ready, or you want me to go first?
Mine is not classy though. Mine is just an influencer. His name, he's so funny, and I think that I'm gonna go just because his name is DeMarcus Sean, and you've probably seen him on Instagram, but it's like he's been in every lifetime of every person, of every human ever. Like he has the most niche, weird, hilarious. I think they are TikToks, and he puts them on Reels, and I'm a Reels girl since I'm always on BWB. But it's like, for example, I'm going to read some of his skits. Nobody. Me at 13 years old, mixing 5 different juices together like a bartender to make the perfect concoction. Like, same. I literally did that. And then he has some that's like my grandma being entirely too real. And then it's like the grandma saying stuff about how she's going to die and how everyone's going to miss her. And like, it's just like, how do you know? Like, is everyone's parents, is everyone's lifestyle? Are we all just really like living the same life? And it makes you think it's like, what is anyone even like arguing about? We're all living the same life, rich, poor, white, black.
Is this the one that used to do the teacher? Like he used to do this teacher skit of him like walking like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And his actual is art by Demarcus Sean. And I've just been watching his rise. I think he's actually a stylist, but I've been watching his rise for so long now that it's just
Oh,
it's
okay. No.
hilarious.
Oh no, yes, yes. This is it.
Yeah, he just expanded into different skits now. But
Yeah, I love him.
every single one is just so funny. Like there was this one that was like, when you spend the whole day with your mom and then she just starts tripping, and it's like so accurate.
My mama.
Like, what is the problem? We just spent the entire day together.
Damn,
So
that's a good one.
it's so real. It's so real.
That's a
And
good
obviously I'm just being very hyperbolic. I know that we all have differences and privileges and non-privileges, but it's just so funny to see one person be able to embody everyone's life.
one. Very relatable. I remember when he was on TikTok, I think he started during the pandemic, I want to say, because
That's when
that's when I
everyone
really
was into
seen
it.
him on TikTok and I was like, I love this guy. Especially when he did that damn teacher. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I love that teacher.
Him and Tony. Tony is the other guy that does the teacher too.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there's a white boy. His name's Mark. He did the teacher too.
Applebaum. Mr. Applebaum. Yes. Oh my gosh. Good times. Good times, guys.
Gosh.
Mine is actually just gonna go to okay, I'll have two. Since you did an influencer, I'll do another influencer. I'm gonna shout out Court Reezy. I feel like I've mentioned her before in like maybe like a side video or something, like when I did that mini vlog thing for the Patreon. But she is just somebody that's very interesting. You can find her on YouTube, you can find her on Instagram, but she's mainly on YouTube. She has Core Reezy, which is her main channel, where she does like videos on weird, just like weird, very particular things. Like, what is the video chat online? Omegle.
Eagle? Oh.
Yes. Where she just gets on Omegle and talks to random people.
On Omegle? I thought they shut down Omegle. I thought it was Bigo.
No, this is Omegle. I think Omegle is still on because she just, I want to say she
Wow.
just did
That's the one
something.
that matches you up with random people still.
Yeah. So she
I
just
can't believe
gets on
that's
there
still
and she
on.
just fucking talks to them. Or maybe it's, but I want to say it's Omegle.
No,
And
it's definitely Omega. Yeah.
so she does videos on that. And like those weird ads that you see on Instagram that
Which
advertise
ones?
those
Because I
mobile
have so
games,
many. The
like the
ones
weird mobile
where
games where this girl's like smelling like fish and her husband leaves her and then she like decides to get a makeover and it's a shitty makeover and she almost
and they're
dies
like,
and
do you
loses her
want
kid.
to shave your legs or do you want to grow your hair to the floor? And then you pick one and she is still unhappy. And then her house is on fire all of a
And then
sudden.
like all of a sudden CPS comes and takes her kids away and then she has to move out of the house and start her own life. And you're just like,
Yeah. And that's just the beginning of the game,
what?
guys.
And that's not even a game. It's like in order to unlock a dress for her, you literally have to play
Why
this
do you
game.
know this? Why do you know what it takes to unlock a dress, Aaron? Because did you fucking download it?
Well, I mean, it's pretty tempting though. Like, don't
So
you?
okay, walk
Because
me
I'm
through it
like,
because
this
I've
lady
always
just
been
lost her
so
kids
interested.
from CPS. Like, how is she gonna get them back? And then she has no choice but to go in like the Arctic, like Antarctica, and raise her child. And I'm like, why is this the only option? And it's like you have to make a fire for her. You got to board down the windows. And in order to do certain things, you have to play these like puzzles. And the puzzles are like Candy Crush in a way. So,
It's insane because I see those ads and I just feel like I never downloaded it and I tried to click on it because I
mhm.
already get targeted for so many ads that are obscure. Like it's never like a luxury fragrance ad. I always get like fucking, I don't know, dog walkie talkies, like just weird
Yeah,
ass shit. So I'm just
like
like, I'm
really
not gonna
weird
click on
stuff.
this. And it still comes up because I think it feels my vibe. And they're like, you'd like this.
I think that's what happened. And then when I clicked on it and downloaded it, it just kept bringing me more and more and more and more. And I'm like, stop. I did
Because
this
once you
one
click
game.
on it,
That's all I wanted to do. Stop showing me more.
because it's never
It
over.
gets worse and worse every time. Like the storylines are just more extreme. But getting back to Court Reezy, she does videos on that and like random niche things. And then she has a spin-off channel called Court Reezy 2.0 where she does vlogs. And they're very interesting because she's also a social media influencer. I want to say she went to like this award show too, and she just films like moments of her life doing things for like Google, like random, just a bunch of random stuff. And it's nice to
Amazing.
see. And it influences me too. I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, like look at her just working and making it happen. And I love that for her. So you guys check her out. I'm pretty sure some of you might already know who she is too, because she's pretty popular. But because
Yeah, but shout out to her.
yeah, my sister even watches her, and I'm like, girl, what?
I mean, the things that you just described, like who wouldn't watch her?
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's what Court Reezy does. And I'm like, you watch Court Reezy? And she's like, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, that freaking meme of like Regina George in the mirror and she just like looks back like
Hmm, I didn't see that for you, but so
so
that's
then who's your second one?
oh, I said two. Oh, I did say two.
Hell yeah.
The second one is gonna go to Seven Streeter because guys, I feel like she's a slept on artist. And that last album that she had was so good. And I seen somebody post about it on Twitter, and I'm just like, why does nobody like get Seven Streeter to do a cover or perform at an award show? Because she just kills it every time, and she's such a good performer and artist. And I remember when she was on BT. Was it BT Unlocked? It was like a BT special where they used to go behind the scenes on
Hmm.
the music videos, like. But she was on one of those, and she's been around for some time. So she's a very talented Black female artist, and I think that if you like R&B, if you like what's his name, Jeremiah, if you
Mm-hmm.
like Bia, you should check her out. If you like Summer Walker, you should check her out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are like
Love
some.
that. Yeah, I really liked her when she had that. Was that the song with Chris Brown that she had their biggest one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
so
was
I
like her
remember that.
first. Hmm.
And then I don't remember nothing after. So like I'm glad you brought her back up because now she's back on my radar.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys check it out. She just came out with an album, I want to say like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And it's a really good album. I mean, from start to finish. Very good.
Wow.
Very, very good.
Love that.
But yeah, guys.
Well, let's get into it. That was our Black Excellence, and they were actually very excellent.
Mhm.
Now, today we are going to just touch on Jersey Shore because there's still nothing to talk about. Um, we'll start off with Jersey Shore just because there's two sentences. They are still in Nashville, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
they're still in Nashville. Angelina has finally arrived. Sam is like, oh my God, she's going to start with me. And Angelina doesn't really start with her. not yet. But they have a bunch of fun and they're waiting for Ron, and it turns out that Ron is going to basically be a day late. And that's the episode.
Oof. I love that.
Did you want to add something?
No, that's all I had.
Shut up.
One thing that I do want to add is about Benny. I feel like he's just become very dark, and it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, like he's not fun anymore. And
Yeah.
I think that I think that he's tired of the show, but the show is such good money.
Actually.
Yeah, he hates the show, and I think that he kind of also hates them because he feels like he's better than them, in a sense. And I feel like the show gives him so much money that he's like, I can't turn down this bag, but I also don't want to participate, and I don't want to be around these people. And I also don't want to give him too much flack because I feel like it's because he is the youngest one of them. Because remember, he was like just turning 21. I think when the show started, he was always the young one. And additionally, he's the only one who does not have like kids in a serious relationship other than Angelina. And he's kind of also sick of, them trying to hook him up with Angelina. So I get it in a sense, but I think that he just needs to stick out this not the one that we're on, but the next season with Ron on it, and then he can make his graceful exit, because we need a season where all of them are there. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing this for?
You're right.
And they are filming, because they're always fucking filming. Guess what? They're filming in Miami. So I guess one of the next vacations I don't know if it's going to be, I think it's going to be the next season, because all I know is with MTV, it's Teen Mom, Catfish, Jersey Shore. Teen Mom, Catfish, Jersey Shore.
And they're not going to get me to watch Teen Mom. I'm sorry.
You're not watching the one where they're in Colombia?
Mm-hmm. I might check it out just because I feel like I'm just like, excuse me, guys, but just because I feel like I'm a Teen Mom expert, I should. But honestly, without Ashley, I'm just like, what is the point? Because Ashley was my favorite, and now they brought back what's her name? Mackenzie. And I really don't want to see Mackenzie. Like, I don't know. I'm just not interested.
But Ashley's going to be on the next new season, right? Because I think they went through a whole thing.
She better. Because if not, cancel the show.
Her back on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even in the comments, everybody's like, nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see Brianna, Jade, and the boring one. It's just to the point where I can't even remember her name because she's so boring. The one whose boyfriend was on the challenge. Cheyenne, exactly. She's so boring to me. She's
Why
so damn boring.
I know her name and then you don't know her
name? I knew a few months ago, but
the reason I know her name is because her and her boyfriend or her boyfriend, they're on Are You the One? That's the only reason I know of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys,
so that's Jersey Shore.
What should we cover next?
I genuinely feel like next week we'll have more because Ron's gonna be there. Like we saw him, they didn't like pump fake. Like we saw him in the car on the way, so it's coming on. So next we have Vanderpump Villa. One episode came out last night. It comes out every Monday. I have been threading it. Well, this is the second Monday, so I've been threading it for 2 Mondays. I was kind of upset only because I wanted more episodes. They spoiled me. They spoiled us. It was a good episode. I think that Lisa Vanderpump is like, I'm taking back the points that I gave her because she really pissed me the fuck off this episode because she is just like the first literally the first episode, this is your ball. You have to be tending to your ball. You can't be drinking on the job and acting a plumb fool and doing all these things.
Mm.
You have Gus to attend to. And then Eric is literally stripping Buck stark ass naked in front of the fucking guests. And then she's like, as long as the guests have fun, I don't care what happens. And it's just like
Mm.
me and Telly. And I understand, Telly, like, you got to calm down, girl. I understand that you want the guests to have fun, but it's either fucking or. Like, are you going to be a boss and put your foot down, or are you going to be like whatever it takes? Like, what kind
of? To be fair, I also feel like they're kind of editing it a bit, because even with what she told Telly, I don't think she minds them so much drinking at the bar, because everybody drinks at the bar. But it's just like her whole thing with Telly was like, girl, don't lie to my face about it. Like, I just walked in, I just seen you drinking. And then I walk in and then you're like, I wasn't drinking. So I think that's the thing that she really had with Telly. But technically, she knows she's filming the show. If Telly wants to get drunk, Telly can get drunk. But I also think for Telly, it wouldn't really go too good for her, because she already has enough bullshit going on. So it would just lead to confrontation, in my opinion. She doesn't
I don't
really
think
have...
that Telly should be drinking, period. I'm talking about, like, even with Eric, when he fucked up last week and he tried to move shit around, she had to like bring the hammer down on him.
Oh yeah.
And then this week she's just encouraging foolishness. Like, it's back and forth. What are you talking about?
I think it all just depends on the responses of the guests.
Yeah,
like, she's
absolutely.
like, did you like that? All right then. But as soon as they're like, I didn't like when Eric moved my table and he moved it by the staircase, she's like, oh no, Eric, no, we just can't.
And that's what I'm saying.
Just can't have, we simply just can't
have 10 salad forks. Apologize now.
Apologize now. Get on your knees.
Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees.
Like, that did piss me off, because I was expecting her to get in Eric's ass a little bit. And true, he did add entertainment to the night, but he was just doing too much. And even the next day,
yes, it just went on and on. And I'm just like, when does it stop?
When does it stop? And I honestly think that Eric needs to go, but I think that Marciano needs to go even more. I think Marciano is done to me. I don't know how he's still on this show. I just want him to go. It's not fun. It's not anything where I'm like, oh, I love to hate him. I don't. I just want him to go.
Just hate him.
Just hate. Just hate. Just hate. The way he talks to people, I hate it. It's just like, it's so disrespectful and rude and unnecessarily rude. And I also think that Telly, I want to get in, Telly, I hate to do it. I want to get in your ass a little bit too, because it's like, I get you're not really feeling Eric right now, but he was actually valid this time, because if you're late, you need to show up on time. That's just it. You need to show up on time.
Yeah.
I get it's not a big deal, whatever, but you guys don't even have that type of relationship yet. And it's just like, you have to hold yourself accountable. Saying that you're not going to work, saying that you're not going to leave, to me, it's just looking like you're not really ready to be on the show. That's just how I feel. And I understand that it's a buildup of frustration, because she's like getting discouraged at this point, and she's getting back to that point of what she brought up in like the second episode, where she feels like nobody really likes her. And I'm like,
I feel like she definitely overreacted in this episode, because it's like, okay, so if you're going home and you decide to go home, then go home.
That's how I feel. Because one thing that I hate, you could do a lot of things. Call him a 36-year-old guy who's still single. I was like, okay, whatever.
And I was like, yeah.
if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. On another hand, I'm like, what's wrong with that? But I mean, I'm not 36
Well,
yet, so I can't
yeah,
get.
yeah. Well, no, I think that at the same time, it was just like what Lisa was saying was what did Lisa say? She said something about like you give as good as you get. So it's not like people are just like yelling at her and she's sitting there and taking it. Like, no, he's like, oh, I'm doing your job. And she's like, you're gonna be single forever, bitch. So it's like you're giving and
She's
you're
like, put
getting.
on a show. Don't leave. And Telly's like, yeah, I think I'm good. Like, I think I'm done. And I'm leaving and I'm fading fast. Like, that's what I just,
Oh my god, that's so true. That's so
that's what I
true.
get from her.
She was giving, she was giving
Jean
Jean.
Grey.
Like she was giving Jean, and you know what I noticed because no, you know what? Okay, remind me to give you my notes on both Jean and Wolverine when we get to X-Men.
Yes. Because
Okay, so
you have been
anyways,
saying that, like, you got to get in Wolverine's ass.
yeah. But so yeah, with her, it was just okay. So what do we think about Marciano and Hannah? I think that I'm gonna love seeing Marciano show his ass because while I do agree that Telly may have been wrong because she was late or whatever, Hannah has been sticking up for Marciano like all episode, and he's about to embarrass the fuck out of
And I
her.
love it. It's
Right.
going to be my favorite part of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
I'm
were
gonna remember that
so
time and
in his ass the whole time. And now
mm-hmm.
he's showing you exactly what you already knew from the get go.
What you told us from the first episode. Didn't you say that
Oh,
she said the whole world?
yeah, the whole world. And then she's like, oh, yeah, me and him, we're still hooking up in the house, you know. But that's just what happens when you're in a house with your ex. And I'm just like, well,
And she's like, when you're on the other side of the country and you're in France, you're in a different country with your ex, we're just having a good time, Yeah, we just had to settle down.
I
I'm
want to
like,
know, is it a good time now?
what kind of Mickey Mouse ass shit are you talking about? And he's
That's
like, I'm about to show you, baby.
and it's his
I'm about to
world.
show
That's
you.
the one thing I want him to stick around. If they do plan on taking him off, just let him cook a little bit, but then take his ass right off.
But Marciano cook because as much as I don't like that man, I know that he's going to give me a show.
I know that he is. And even the chef, he's feeling himself a little bit and he's just like getting real pissy with everybody. He's like, I can't.
Really? I was on Chef Anthony's side.
I mean, I was on his side because they're just
Fully.
trying it. But his whole thing is he's like, I am focused on fine dining and French
Period.
cuisine. That is it. That is all. Like, no, I don't want to drink. No, I don't want to talk about anything going on in this house. No, I'm not trying to hook up with you. I'm trying to cook this bagel.
Period. Like, and that's what he's there for because we can't have everyone acting like a Magic Mike stripper. We already have Eric out there being a clown. We already have Marciano out there pouring shots down girls' mouths. We already have Hannah out there also about to be a clown for Marciano. We have Telly out here giving us entertainment and arguments. We have Grace about to get in that Grace really, yeah,
And
love
I
that.
love it. I love how
So we
she
have to
deals
have,
with it.
like the chef, we have to have some seriousness. And especially
Mhm.
like I don't play about my food. So I don't want my chef getting drunk and lighting his hair on fire. Like this is not Guy Fieri. This is the Vanderpump Villa. So
It is. It is.
I was on Anthony's side completely. And for him to be like, oh, I think the chef is overpaid and he should be the one to leave. Like, shut
I was
your
like,
ass up.
damn. Chef hasn't even said 2 words just yet. Like, I think this is the most that I heard the chef talk, actually. Like,
It was. And I was like, wow, he kind of fine. Kind of fine.
he's like the bear, like the Lip Gallagher of the show, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Love that reference.
Um,
Another Hulu reference, Hulu, in case you want to go
Another
back to being
person
just
that got
Aaron.
on my nerves was Brett, was a part of that Bachelor Red party.
Oh, I
Lawrence,
was like, which?
Yeah, the
Okay,
guy that was
tell me.
like, "Oh, I just feel like you haven't been reaching out," and he made everything about him. And I'm
Right.
just like, I would kick your ass out right now.
Because it's like, who cares if you're going to the wedding? Look, we're in France at Vanderpump Villa. Like, this is the fun part.
You literally have people bringing you food and wine and all this stuff, and you're bitching at me
If we weren't in France, I'd probably be like, hey, you gotta go.
in France. You gotta
Like
go,
all the way
babe.
to America.
How do you say it, babe? You gotta go. G
You gotta
Sweet.
go.
I don't know.
Um, get the fuck out. Get the
The
fuck
fuck
out.
out of my house.
But yeah, another great episode of Vanderpump Villa who we'll be watching this every week and talking about it every week. And I definitely like the distinction between like it's giving streaming, it's giving Hulu.
Mhm.
Like it's not
It
giving,
is. And
anything
it's such a
else.
good, easy watch. I do love the 30-minute threshold for it.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
42 minutes. But
yeah, like
yeah, it's short.
around there. I'm just like, okay, this is enough to keep my attention, but also not make me feel like, oh,
Right. It's like an easy watch, and then you can just put on Abbott Elementary after.
yeah. It doesn't make me feel like Housewives of Potomac.
That was so unnecessary. It was on a Wednesday.
It's true, but that's
But
a
you're
whole
right.
thing. Because,
I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right.
child. So
Okay, last topic of the day, obviously, is X-Men.
X-Men 97. X-Men 97. What did you think of this episode? I want you to rate the episode first.
A 5. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that video game shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about that. And you know why? Because I just saw that part because I'm watching both of the X-Men at the same time. I just saw when they did the reality TV thing with the Mojo dude, and
Yeah.
now he's like on Ozempic or whatever. But it turns out he was just holding his stomach in. I don't like that. I don't like being inside the game. I don't like all these weird references. I don't like all that punching and munching and hated it. But then when they got to the storm part,
Oh,
and she
yes.
was like, Linda, please. I can't hear my goal. I was just like, sing.
Can you play Storm? Because that was so good.
That's literally what she
Like
was
when it's
doing. And
good,
it
it's
made me like,
good.
yes, yes. Like, yes. It
I'm
was
like
just like,
Angela Bassett did the
exactly, like,
thing,
hello.
but Storm is also doing the damn thing.
I think she's the cartoon version of Angela Bassett.
And I love the woman that plays her because I was just watching an interview with her, and the guy was asking her, he's like, "Well, how do you feel in this moment? Like, how did you feel in this moment?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not in that moment anymore, so I don't really remember." But she's like, "I can tell you."
Real, real.
She's like, "I can tell you that I enjoy Storm's character," and I'm like, "Yes,
I would hope so.
she's not Storm. She can't tell you how Storm felt. She can only tell you, what she sees on the TV because she's watching it just like us. The only difference is she's just reading the lines."
But when you read lines that well with that much emotion,
I'm like, I don't
you'd
know.
have to imagine that. So you think you can go in and play a character for hours at a time and not know how they
Like,
feel?
if I was a Cars character, that's different. There's a different type of.
No,
Well,
no,
when it comes to Cars,
no.
it's like that's a
Because
little
you're
bit
not even a
different.
Cars character, and you can give me a full anatomical, diabolical breakdown of exactly how Lightning McQueen felt when his tire blew out.
Exactly why Mater is the villain, and I will stand by that for the
See,
rest of my life.
and you're not even on the movie. If you were on the movie, you'd be suggesting changes.
You know what? Maybe so. Maybe that's fair. But
Are
I
you
just understood
kidding
that
me?
she was just not in that place anymore. She's like, I don't understand it. But I can also relate to you. I did not like the Jubilee storyline at all. I did not
Tell
care.
me. I
It
thought you would
wasn't
love that because you're a gamer and you also like X-Men. So I'm like,
I didn't
oh,
like
okay,
the Mojo character. I was like, this could go. I know they did it in the comics and that was cool.
did it on the show.
Yeah, but on the show it's just like, mm-mm. I just didn't need that. I didn't, and I also felt like Storm should have her own episode. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, it was half and half, and she's gonna get a part two." But I'm like, no, this episode should have solely focused on Storm and her losing her power because this is one of the most powerful mutants, one of the most strongest. Why did we get a whole fucking episode about uh
Madeline.
Scott and Madeline Pryor and them losing
Two.
their damn baby. And it's like we only get half a part with Storm. I just felt like racist
Exactly.
vibes a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. When I feel
Hey,
it, I feel
I'm
it.
right there with you. That's what I
When I
feel
feel
like
it, I
too.
feel
Because
it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
hello,
why?
I also didn't feel like okay. I picked up the vibes that things got romantic. I picked up the vibes that
Mm.
she was there for a while, but it's like we're rushing through the episode is like what barely even 30 minutes, not 30 minutes at all, 20
And then there's
something
like 15
minutes,
minutes. It's like, here you go. And then the next
15 minutes,
episode,
all of that.
all of that in 15 minutes. And I just thought it was one of the most ridiculous things. And I'm hoping they make up for it. I want to give them a chance. So I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to necessarily call it racist yet, but I will say I just feel like you guys picked the characters that you felt were the least important and put them in an episode together. And that's just what I felt. I didn't think any time was
Right,
like
because why is she in an episode with Roberto and Jubilee? No offense, like they're just too
they're
young.
not even star players. Like Wolverine, I can understand. Like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever. Because Wolverine's a big character. Even if they wanted to do something else about Jean, I would just be like, okay. But Jubilee, the girl at the arcade that got sucked in the video game with the boy that don't even know what his powers is, have we even seen him use his powers? I haven't. I don't remember him. I just do not have any interest in that boy too. I don't have any interest in him. I don't really have any interest in her. I like seeing her. I like when she does the dance and when she pops the bubble gum, but other than that,
yeah, I didn't like that
I
part. I
didn't
did
either.
like Storm's part, so that's why I gave it a 5 because I'm like, it was half and half. The only
Yeah.
part that I liked was the second half, and then at the end something happened. Like, okay, so what the hell is going on with that? That's what I want to know.
It was like a whole like demonic ass eagle that came out of the sky and he just bit the fuck out of Forge and he's like, die, bitch. And then he looks at Storm and he's like,
Why didn't he kill Storm? Like, where does this eagle come from? What's going
well,
on?
I feel like maybe he's gonna lead her into getting her powers back somehow, some way. Maybe he has the answers as to how she can get her powers back, or maybe it's gonna test her strength without the powers. And that's actually
Mm,
the one that I'm hoping because even though Storm does not have her powers, she is still very strong. Like
mm,
she is strong at hand to hand combat. She can
mm.
she can really make some shit shake. So it's like
Right.
we're gonna really see what she's about. And I think that would give me because it's even deeper to see somebody. I think when you see a character get their powers taken away because you can see how they operate without the powers. And I think that's what really makes you a hero. When you're in those zones where your powers are gone, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What's the procedure? And
What is
that's
the
when I would really
procedure?
become a full villain. I did a poll actually on my personal account the other day, and I asked people because of the eclipse, like we were supposed to get special
Mhm.
powers. I'm waiting for mine to kick in. Did you get yours yet?
I didn't get mine yet,
All right. Well, maybe it takes a
unless
couple
mine are
days to
just
kick in.
getting pissed off. Those are my powers.
So I did a poll, and I was like, "What do you guys think about me? Do you think I'm going to become evil, or am I going to be good or an anti-hero?" When I say for the first like 50 votes, it was 100% villain. I'm like, hold on.
I agree. I agree, but only because I know you and because you confirm this very often on multiple platforms. Like you always share that one meme that's like, if I ever get powers, I will never be a hero. Like you made that so clear that you would never be a hero. Like
Because
I think
you
you just
guys
shared it like
don't.
last week too.
Okay. Anyways, so the show was good, like especially Storm Part. So let me just get to why I don't. Okay, so Gene, I've been
Yes.
watching X-Men. I like to call it 96, even though it's technically it went off in 97, I believe. Gene, I see what you mean about her fainting. Like I finally like see it now. And it's not, she doesn't just like faint. She like,
I can't.
it's like, bitch, why are you moaning? Why are you,
And
what are
it's
you doing?
always when it's time to make some shit shake. Like
Right.
they're about to die. Like the world is about to explode. And
Literally,
she's
I just
like,
watched the Phoenix saga and she's like, oh, I gotta
but
get back into that body.
that's the one part that I actually like. When she comes out of the
Yeah.
cave and she has like that starfish thing on her head and she's like having a fucking
Stop.
identity crisis, I get that so
Yeah.
much.
I just the Phoenix saga. Even the Phoenix knew that that body was like okay. It was the best body on Earth, but it was still a little weak because she was like, "Hold
Mm-hmm.
on, y'all." She literally was like, "Hold on for a minute." Every time I use these powers, I need to take a break, and then I get stronger. And that's how she explained it. And then she eventually like didn't want to leave. But so yeah, I understood Jean. So now Wolverine. Oh my god, one, he's a short, little, angry man. He has short man complex. That's what I hate about him the
Yeah.
most. Two, it's his grouchy, scrouchy, annoying little senior, rude ass voice that I hate. And then he's just always so sarcastically. They're in the middle of getting their ass handed to them. And he's like, "Is that all y'all got for a Sunday? I don't know. I think I'm some chicken with this." So he's like, says
That
some
is
stupid
why
ass shit
he is so relatable to
all
me.
the time. And then he's like, and then it's like, "Wolverine, are you okay?" And he's like, "Well, what does it look like?" And it's just like, bro, why are you here then?
Because he's
Why are you
pissed
here?
the fuck off. Like he's pissed off. And you know
Mm-hmm.
why?
Why?
Because Sabretooth. Because Stryker. Like he has so many ops against him that he does not know who to trust. And then when he comes to X-Men, they're so nice and friendly. And he's like, I literally just been through hell. Like, do you not understand?
The biggest thing also that I don't like is that he's all on Jean's body, like
He is.
always.
And that's another thing that's pissing him off because not only does he like come in the group and everybody's being so nice and he finally accepts them and he's like, okay, whatever. Like, you guys are just nice. Fuck you, but you're nice. And then Cyclops comes in and Cyclops an asshole to him. Like, Cyclops thinks he's running shit. He always wants to make the plans and takes lead. And then on top of that, he has the girl. He
Right.
has
He's
the
the
girl.
man.
So
He's the
now
fucking man.
Wolverine's like, well, fuck. Like, I
And
just
he's
can't catch a
Charles's
break.
favorite too.
Yeah. And he's like, I just can't catch a break. And Wolverine always ends up saving the day, too. And what do they give him? Nothing. They don't give him shit. He literally saves everybody. And then they go to another universe and they're like, do it again.
Because he's the one who can't die. He just heals. Like
Do it again. It's
they
like he's so
sacrifice him a lot too.
unappreciated, too. They're just like,
Yeah, they're like
whatever.
Wolverine. They're always like
He'll do
Wolverine,
it.
go.
And it's like it's such an asshole thing to do. And then Jean uses the fact that he's attracted to her advantage. So even though
Yes,
she's with
she's very
Scott,
manipulative.
she's like, Scott, just chill for a little bit because I'm gonna get Wolverine to do it.
B.
And then I'm just like, this is why he's the villain. This is why eventually he leaves this shit and he's like, you know what? It's not worth it. All of this and it's not worth it. And that's why he
Like I saw
joins.
the episode where he is laying in the bed and he's like looking at the picture of Jean and
Mhm.
Cyclops and it's the meme. And I'm like, get over it. Go find and he had a bitch too. Eureka. He had a bitch.
He even
He
gets
had,
with Storm, I think, for a little bit, but Storm's like,
yeah, that's in a different universe. Okay, so I'm on that one. It's like in a different universe where like they have to go back in time
mhm.
because Charles Xavier didn't even exist or some shit like that. It's always a lot of like bullshit going on. And then you know what I also don't like about the old series is that I like the old series overall, but it's always part one, part two, part three,
Yeah.
part four, part five. How many times are we going to get on this ship and Apocalypse is going to beat y'all ass?
As many times as it takes for them to get it right. And that's the thing. Apocalypse does not care. He's like, well, see me in this universe and maybe you'll get it right. And Magneto
Apocalypse
definitely has
is
plenty of time. Magneto's like, I got all fucking year. So let's go. And Charles Xavier, he's just willing himself. He's like, you guys do it. Like, fuck this.
Charles is at the point where he's like in love with Milena or some shit. Lilana,
He was
Milena.
happy to die. Let's talk about that. Like in every, even when he lost in the live action movie with Halle Berry and Hugh Jackman, when he dies, he smirks at the end. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
out of
he's
this
like, I
bitch.
am so sick of you niggas.
Like, I'm out of this bitch. I'm tired of being here anyway. Cause it's like, what do you need me for at this point? Like, Jean knows how to work Cerebro. It's fine. You don't need me. I don't have to locate any mutants. Like,
Well,
you
you
guys do
know
it.
what I forgot? Like, well, not what I forgot. What I had to like realize was that this was a continuation and not a
Mhm.
reboot. So it hit me harder when I was thinking when I was rewatching it because I thought it was just like, oh, something that we didn't see off camera with the whole Madeline thing is like, oh, we don't know when they switched her. They meant we don't know when they, it could have been season one or season two of the original series when they switched or
Yeah.
when they duplicated her. I didn't realize that. I thought they were just talking about some that time, whatever timeline they're
No,
in.
they mean like all this
They
time.
mean like this is a continuation. So I'm like, it could have been Madeline this whole fucking time.
Literally.
That's the crazy part.
But the thing is, I want to say, were there episodes where she did not faint as much? Because if so, then it had to be Madeline. Like the
Yeah.
episodes that she really kicks ass. Was the
And when
Phoenix
she turned
even
into the
really
Phoenix,
real? Or was it just Madeline?
that's what I'm about to say because she changed when she turned into the Phoenix. Especially when she got mad as the Phoenix. I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Yeah, she's like, die.
oh.
She's like, all of you are dead. Try me. If you try me, 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 I'm gonna kill all of y'all hoes.
She was so evil. Like I was so shocked. And then Scott, I mean, well, yeah, Cyclops, he pisses me off so much because he just keeps yelling, Jean, Jean. And
That's all he
Phoenix
ever
is like,
cares about.
that's not
You, that
me.
bitch dead. Get out my face. Like, and Phoenix isn't even attracted to Scott at all. She's like, I don't even want you. I don't even want a human being. Like,
Right.
I need a fucking gladiator outer space that's gonna really rock some shit.
She's like, you know who's hot? Juggernaut. Like, she
Yeah.
just does not give a fuck. She does not give a fuck about Cyclops at
And I think it's the
all.
funniest thing when that happens. And that's actually when Hugh Jackman was the, like, not even Hugh Jackman, well, Wolverine was the most pleasant in that particular movie because he's like, finally,
She doesn't care about either
he
of
doesn't care
us.
about either of us. And he gets killed. He literally gets killed in the third one by the Phoenix. And he's like, thank God. Like, oh, fuck. I don't have to
Well,
do.
and then with the X-Men series, I think it's a like Charles isn't actually like dead. It's a cover up, apparently.
Oh, no,
That's what I'm
please.
hearing, is that it's a
I
cover up.
just don't. I don't want it. I actually want Charles to be dead. I'm done with Charles. Let that man rest in peace. There's nothing that we need from him. I'm actually very happy with Magneto leading the group. I feel like that's just how it should be moving forward. I don't need Charles Xavier. I know.
I'm just used to him. That's it.
How do
But
you feel about Rogue?
I love her. I think that
Mm,
she's actually like my favorite. I'm just after well, okay, powered up Storm.
she's
And
Phaedra.
then yeah. She's just like, this cat's gotta go. How you doing, sugar? And she'll
Did
just
it,
literally catch
sugar?
someone. She'll catch someone midair and be like, "Hold on, where you going there, sugar?" And I'm just like, "Rogue, like, what are you doing, babes?"
She's like, I'm just gonna drop you.
I'm just glad that like her and Magneto are fucking down in the new one at least because
And I
she
mean,
longs
yeah.
for like human touch and love so much. I just finished that episode where it was like her ex-boyfriend that was like in love with her and he kind of tricked her and
Mhm.
said, "Oh, you can touch me now," or whatever. And they actually like brought her back to the ship and they're like, actually, this is a trick and you're gonna turn into something different. So that was a trick.
I just thought that
Um
was fucked up.
it was so messed up because she was just like, Gambit, bye. My real man is here, and her real man led her basically down a trap. So I'm like, okay, Rogue deserves something. Like, damn.
Something. I also wanted to see her take Captain Marvel's powers. I still want to see that because it's like fun in games when she does it too. She's like, you ain't never gonna get this shit back. Like, girl,
Yeah, she's like laying. Captain Marvel's laying in a hospital, and she's like, "We're all friends."
oh my God. Y'all make that happen. Please. Please. But X-Men 97, guys, I was about to say 96. 97 has been just good. That's the only critique, give Storm her full episode, please.
Like, no interruptions.
Also touch base with Madeline Pryor, because I'd like to see her again.
Yeah, I hear this whole thing is like a time loop thing, and that it's all leading back to Cable, which is actually Jean's son. So
Oh yeah, I could see that because he's in the credits.
yeah, so they said that Bishop is going to come back, Cable is going to come, Charles is actually alive. This is a timeline deal or whatever, and yeah, it's good. It's kind of confusing, but I fuck with it. So yeah.
Yeah, I recommend it. I feel like after
Definitely.
we talked about it, you guys should definitely be excited and be like, you know what, I am going to watch this show
Exactly. Exactly.
if you aren't already.
Yeah, because I feel like if I can watch it, then anyone can.
Because I'm surprised, like the fact that you went back to 96, I didn't even go back to 96. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to 97.
I went back
Because
because
I've
I'm
seen
like,
96
I'm
enough.
missing something. I wanted to know, why is Rogue a black woman stuck in a white woman's body? I wanted to know how strong Storm really is and why was she talking like that? And it turns out, she talked like that in the original one. I wanted to know why Wolverine was so angry and why he's all up
Mhm.
on Jean's body. I wanted to know why Jean acts the way she does and why Cyclops acts the way that he does. And like there are a lot of interesting storylines to tie into not only the show, but also the movie and a lot of things that they can do down the road. Like I would love for them to like that episode where he find out that that's his daddy and what happened to his mama. It was a good episode. So it's a good show. That was some
Make
tea.
that happen, guys. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Get
and
on
Storm
it.
Girl, if you don't know what's going on, you know how Storm feels, just call me because I got it down. Like I've been practicing.
Can you please?
I go outside and I'm just like, Rain, why can't I feel you on my face?
You might cry.
When
That's
yo,
me with,
that was it.
that's literally me with the IRS.
Ain't that some shit? God.
Please. You might cry. I can't take it anymore.
I love when you do it because it's exactly what happened.
All right, guys. Yeah,
We'll be back.
it.
Next week will be better. Abbott Elementary will be back. Ron is finally going to be on Jersey Shore. And obviously Vanderpump Villa is actually, you know, we're really about to get halfway through the season because I think there's 10 episodes. So episode 5 will be next week. So yeah.
So you guys will see that. And make sure you subscribe to that Patreon, patreon.com/BravoWildBlack. Leave a nice review because we love those nice reviews. And yeah, guys, bye.